Good. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Good. All right.
I know you talked about the spring portal window the other day. What do you feel like the lessons you've learned from the past few years of the spring portal window are, and how does that kind of shape your approach this year?
Well, it's the spring portal's been different every year. It's definitely evolved in terms of kind of what's in there. Obviously, if guys are in there, there's a reason, and you got to do your best in a short amount of time to get to the bottom of that. Each team and each roster is just in a different scenario, and I think the big thing for us is trying to build a roster where we don't have to be too reliant on the spring portal window. And I, certainly feel like there's less needs on this football team than maybe in some of the years past when we got to this point. So doesn't mean that there won't be some good fits out there. There probably will be, and we'll sort through those. But I think the majority of our football team is either here or already signed to be here, and they'll be here in June.
It was this time a year ago we started hearing buzz about Marcellus Williams. How has he developed over this last year, and how much is he in the mix for a real role?
Oh, he's right in the middle of it. I mean, without a question. I mean, with all the guys that we lost at corner, I mean, there's some real position battles and some real opportunities right now. He did. He had a really good spring last year. He had a solid camp too. Some of the other guys kind of stepped up and were just a little bit ahead of him. But it was a great fall for him. He was able to develop physically, which was probably the biggest thing for him. He had to put on weight. He had to put on strength and then learn to be able to use that and play a little bit more physical and a little more sturdy. And that's happened. And so he's always a smart kid. He's a guy that's always in position. And I just see more pop, more physicality, just more kind of confidence athletically right now. But, yeah, he's certainly right in the middle of it.
Coach, in what ways have you seen Jacoby Lane mature this offseason? I think some of the older receivers in the room are gone now, and it's he's getting to the point where he's not only needs to mature individually, but this team needs him to in terms of the leader and presence that he is, because he does have an infectious energy, competitive energy that it affects our football team, and so I think. He's got some big goals for this team, and he wants to be a leader, and he wants to be somebody this team can count on each and every day, and he knows the path to that is more consistency in all areas. And so he's doing a lot of things better than he ever has, and he's got great intent for it. He continues to grow and progress, and we're just going to need him to just stay on that track. The more steady he can be, the explosive plays and all the things will come out of this guy because he's that talented of a player. But he's taking his craft more seriously. He's taking the leadership more seriously. Haven't had some of the emotional ups and downs that at times have plagued him early in his career. And if that continues, he'll be set up to have a great season and, most importantly, be a really good leader for this team.
Is that a natural realization for him, or is that something where you guys have a conversation with him about just where he's going?
Oh, there's been a lot of conversations. I mean, I think He's a smart kid, though. I mean, when you get him out of the heat of the moment, he realizes it. And now it's, all right, take these lessons learned, both the positive ones and the challenging ones in the first few years, and how do we apply them and make it different where it's noticeably better in all areas than what it's been before. And he's got the right intent. He's got the right goals. He definitely wants to do it. And I think the relationship's built just over the last few years with Jacoby and the other staff members here in this building. I think we have a lot of people that can get to him, and if he's not, if he's starting to veer off, they can help him get back on track. But he's had a really good spring so far. It's been a really good presence for our team consistently day in and day out.
What's the status of Kai Sina, and is Mana's move also, is that permanent, or is that something you're just toying with?
Mana's move, we're doing it full time right now. We're not working him at both, but we'll evaluate that as that goes on. He's got the ability. Mana has the ability to help this team on the offensive line or the defensive line. I mean, that's clear. I mean, he had a couple of really good practices on the D line before we made this move. Probably the best practices that he's had here. So he's definitely going to make an impact. We saw some things that, as a coach, your kind of intuition is this would probably be a pretty good time to take a look at him over at the other side of the ball. And, up to this point, he hasn't disappointed us on that at all. He's got some real natural ability on both. Mackay got injured. It's nothing crazy serious. We hope to have him back for probably the last week of spring, maybe week and a half is the hope. And he was doing some really good things before he got dinged, but fortunately nothing too serious.
Who's in the mix of nickel right now?
Well, we could go a lot of different directions there. I mean, you got guys that have played that position in games for us, Prophet, Kamari, guys like that can certainly play it. We're experimenting with some of the young guys now. Alex Graham, JJ, a few of those young guys to see what they can do. Isaiah Rubin. So I don't know that Harvey, certainly I think could jump in there and help us there as well. So, just trying to rotate some guys in and out. Obviously, we've got a number of guys in secondary that we're trying to take a look at this spring, but those would be the guys right now that have taken the majority.
I think we're about halfway through spring practice. Any position group in particular that has maybe exceeded expectations that you had coming into the spring?
Mine are high. I like the running back room a lot. I really like the running back room a lot. That's a good group. Those guys are working well together. Coach Jones has done an outstanding job with that group and some kind of varying skill sets that I think that could be the most effective room that we've had in the years we've been here based on what I've seen on the field up to this point.
What's the addition of a corners coach done for the secondary and the defense?
Well, it just I think added another set of eyes, another professional there in terms of when you break guys up on the field or when you break guys up in the meeting room. Coach Reed's been excellent, and Coach Belk is still certainly overseeing the entire secondary. But Coach Reed is you feel his energy on the field, you feel his expertise both from his coaching and his playing career, and and then I think just the individual attention that's dedicated to our secondary players here. I mean, at any one point, between Trevon, between Coach Belk, obviously between Coach Lynn, I mean, we can divide these up and they can be getting coached by some of the best coaches in the country. So I think that has been a big key to the development, and that group is certainly progressing right now.
Let's do one more.
If Christian Pierce and Bishop and Kamari end up being like 3 of your 5 best DBs, would you be comfortable playing some more 3 safeties as opposed to like in the corner?
Yeah, because I mean sometimes it's a body type like that anyways, and several of those guys give us some position flex. So I mean at the end of the day we want to have our if we're in a 5 defensive back package, we want to have the best players out there, and fortunately again we've got guys that know our system and some guys that have experience in position flex that I think will allow us to get that done.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks guys.